Love Rosemary says, loves your garden shows because you explain everything in detail. Well, if I know the answer, if I don't, I just let somebody else answer it. Kim says, I love all the leaf and petal plants and I love the show. Thank you, ladies. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. You guys are awesome. As a special treat, I am going to give you our next presentation of our best value of the day. If you love hibiscus, you'll love our today's special. All right, here we go. 786-497. You know, it's funny, I was reading some of the comments on our Facebook page, and one of the comments, and let me see if I can get her name. Her name is Kim. Kim says, when my husband and I were dating, he brought me a single hibiscus flower every day. How sweet is that, Kim? Well, you could do that right here because we have got the most beautiful collection of Luna. We call them Luna hibiscus. You get everything you see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not a choice of. You get them all in the most beautiful colors of deep, rich red. We have them in that pristine white. We have them in that swirl pinky color, right? And then we also have them available in the rose color. All four, and look at the intricate detail inside the flower. The little stamen in there with all the pretty colors. These are a wow, 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 absolutely gorgeous. You get all four varieties, 4 different plants. They are growing and ready to go. They go in your garden, your patio, your deck. They play well with other plants. They are great at attracting all of the Lord's creatures that you love in your yard. Instant garden transformation. Get them now. You will absolutely love them. Let me introduce you to our special guest. She is our best friend in the garden. Our friend Rochelle Gray is standing by. Rochelle, welcome back.
Thank you. I'm glad to be back.
These are amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yes. Yes, yes. We have done so many of these before. These ones are so exciting for me, I have to say, because I've got the ones from last year that were the really giant hibiscus, but a lot of people really can struggle with those because they are too big. That's what's really nice about the Luna hibiscus. It's the same great plant. You still get huge blooms, not quite the dinner plate, but still, you know, like your full hand size. They're still going to be that 60-mile-per-hour plant where people, you know, if you don't want them looking at your garden and saying, wow, don't order these because this is going to catch people's eye from a long way off if they're driving 60 miles an hour past your house. These are just going to be on a slightly smaller plant rather than the 5 to 6 foot. These are going to be 2 to 3 feet tall and wide. And what's great about that is if you have a smaller garden or a smaller space, you can plant them. They can also be planted in a container, whereas the other ones, I actually grew mine in a container, but I had to have a big container. I had like a 24-inch whiskey barrel for those big ones. But these ones, you know, you can put them in even as small as maybe even a 12-inch container. You might want to upgrade that after a year to a 16. But these are going to be happy in containers. And then also you can really put them, you know, middle of the bed, front of the bed. I mean, I love the idea of like flanking a walkway, like a little low hedge of these, because they're only going to get a couple feet tall, but they're going to have these big, gorgeous tropical flowers. You get that tropical look at your home. It does not matter where you live. I'm up in Boston. These are hardy up here. They're hardy throughout all the northern states. And then all the way down into Florida, California, it doesn't matter where you are. These are hardy because they are native to the North America. So these are plants that grow in swamps in the wild, but we've bred them to have these beautiful colors and nice shape, you know, so we've, you know, done that that's a little horticultural magic as we've done some breeding programs to make them really beautiful garden plants. But as a native plant, they're going to be supporting pollinators. They're going to be tough because they grow here naturally. The place you want to put them is someplace where you've got some good moisture, whether you're irrigating or maybe you just have a natural wet spot, or in a container. Last year, I basically had a poor man's drip. I had a hole in a hose and I just drug that through my container planting, and it just kept them nice and damp, and they bloomed like crazy for me. And that was my first year. So second year, these are what you're going to get on the stage, on the set here. This is more close to second year growth. But you'll absolutely get blooms in the first year. And just like daylilies, they come and they go. I love that story from Kim Guy where, her husband brought one every day. That's because they only bloom for one day at a time. I mean, every day he went out there and picked a flower for her, which is just such a nice, sweet story, I think.
I think so too. I know I said that in our first airing. I love that about hibiscus because I have the braided hibiscus tree at my house, and I also have the giant hibiscus. You wait and you watch them, and they'll be a bud for a while, and then in one day they transform and they open up, and they only last. It's like they give their whole lives to you in one day, which is very romantic. And I kind of like that Kim did that as well, or Kim's husband did that. These flowers, by the way, are like middle of the road as far as the size. Like my hibiscus tree, they have about 4 or 5 inch blossoms. These are about 7 to 8 inch blossoms versus the big giant dinner plate ones. I love the size of these. When you order today, I want you to know one thing, is that first of all, we curate the best product. So you got the best chance of making it work. But also know that we're not going to send them and ship them to you until we know that it's good in your area to either plant them or put them outside in a pot. So if you live in the northern part of the country, you'll be getting these last. You'll get these like at the end of May, end of April, all right? If you live in the middle of the country, you'll get them around April, beginning April to the end of April. And if you live down south where we are, you'll be getting them forthright. You get them pretty much right away, all right? So you don't get dinged on your credit card till they go out. But what you're doing is you're securing them. I love the fact that we get 4, Rochelle. Listen, if I saw one of these growing in a store this size, I'd spend 40, 50 bucks on it in a minute. All right? You are getting 4 of these, okay? And I'll show you what they look like when you get them. This is what they look like when you get them, all right? So they're going to be established, healthy, ready to go in a pot. Can you find it? There it is. I'm turning it down so you can see it. So there it is. All right, in the first year, you can expect about 60% of this growth, and because these are year number 2. So that's wonderful though, because you get an idea of how they're going to grow for you, and then remember they come back every single year. They also, what's nice is, although they are big and bold and beautiful, as far as the impact, they don't take up a ton of space. They'll probably grow about 2 to 3 feet tall, and maybe about 2 feet wide. So if you want to put them on a balcony or on a patio, they're perfect. If you want to plant them, you can do that as well. But remember, you are getting all 4 in every color that you could love, right? Maybe you want to keep 2, grow 2 others, and give those as a gift. You could do that as well. Take advantage of one-day prices of $29.95, shipped right to your door, free shipping and handling. I mean, Rochelle, I said it before, a lot of bang for your buck with all these colors.
Yeah, I mean, and the truth is, I'm in the industry, so I'm always going to the wholesale nursery, and this is like, the pricing of these is insane to me, because these are 4 shrubs that you're getting for such a fantastic price. It's really mind-blowing what you're getting here. I mean, this is instant garden, 4 shrubs. These are 2 to 3 feet in each direction. If you have a 12-foot walkway, you can put down the whole side. If you buy a couple of them, you've got just that much more, 24 feet of shrubs. It's a really easy way to kind of fill in a lot of space, spread them out. These are great gifts too. I mean, I look at these and I think, maybe I want 2 or 3 of those colors, and maybe I order a few sets and then give a couple to a friend. Mother's Day's coming up. I've got some friends' birthdays who are also gardeners. These are just great gifts, and you can if you get a few sets, maybe give them 2 of the same color, which is a nice way to, maybe flank a door or frame a fence, or, if you have a patio, you put them in containers. I'm a big fan of, by the way, growing things like this the first year in a container. That way I learn about it and I pay a little extra attention to it. And because it's hardy north to south, then I move it at the end of the season. I move it into the garden where I've kind of, thought about it all summer and like, where do I actually want that? And I can see where it's going to go. And I plant it then in its permanent place. But you don't have to. You can keep these in a container. If you're up north here, they're going to be hardy. You might just want to pull them in just to protect the roots. I mean, and when I mean up north, I mean like Boston and north. If you're down south, you're not going to really need to worry about that because these are hardy. They are hardy. They are North American native plants. They're native to our swamp areas, which should tell you something. That means they're going to want a lot of water. That's what they get naturally. They love that. They're heavy feeders. So, which, you know, heavy feeders, you kind of can tell. They're a plant that throws out literally fireworks of blooms every day, like new bloom, new bloom, new bloom. So it needs the energy to do that. So give them a lot of water. You might want to do the plant food as well. These are just great ways to kind of take a great plant and make it just mind-blowingly amazing, to be honest. The blooms will just keep coming all season. If you take proper care of it, you'll get this, basically.
Wow.
And this is, you know, you will get, I mean, I grew these for the first time last year in a container. I had so many blooms. This is a mid-season bloomer. I just want to make that clear, too. The real advantage of hibiscus, both buying them here and just buying them in general, these are bloomers in that heat of the summer time frame, which is when you don't have a lot of other things blooming. That's
Right.
a hard time as a garden designer to get a lot of things really in full bloom because stuff gets tired. These love the heat and humidity, and they're going to bloom in that middle of the season. But what that also means is that you don't see these very often in nurseries. I mean, I never see them in nurseries up here in the north.
Nope.
And the reason for that is because it's not a good planting time. Nurseries put plants in the nursery when they're in bloom because they want to show us what they look like. These would be in bloom in July and August. Nobody's buying plants then. And so they just don't tend to stock them.
Right.
So you're not going to see them very often. So this is a great way to get your hands on really unique, beautiful plants that are going to be fantastic for your garden.
Yeah, and you're basically pre-ordering, right? And you're not paying until you get them. So you're doing the right thing. This is the time to get them because today's the lowest price, right? Whereas if you went to a garden store and you said, do you have hibiscus? They'd be like, oh, they don't come in until end of June. And you're like, yeah, but you know, I want to make sure I get them because well, all of a sudden everybody's going to buy them all, or I'll get one half dead one that's laying there that nobody wanted. All of our stuff is top quality. We cut out all the middlemen. We deliver it right to your door. All right. They go from grower to your house. All right. They're not sitting in a big 5 different trucks, you know, and then being passed around. They come right to you. Okay. Which is why you have a better chance of getting these to thrive than you do if you're going to a garden store. Plus, you don't have to put them in your trunk and get dirt all over your car. I want to really quickly talk about Leaf and Petals plant food. Best stuff on the market. I buy this every year. One container is actually probably good for a year. All you do is take one of the little purple sachets, put it in your watering can, mix it up, it'll dissolve, and then pour it over anything. Your plants, I put it on my fig tree, you can put it on anything, all right? And it will increase your results exponentially, okay? I'm just telling you, because I don't have a lot of time to do anything else. I water my plants once in a while. All I do is pop one of those things in every 2 weeks, and my plants are doing really well. So let's get back to the flowers again. So all 4 are included, all right? They're very hardy. You have to worry about them too much, right? You get them home, you water them, leave them outside. To Rochelle's point, they love July and August, no matter where you live. They love sunshine. That's why they do so well in Hawaii, right? Because it's sunny there a lot and hot, all right? They will come back year after year after year, okay? Because they are a perennial, which means they have a 1-year warranty. You're getting 4 growing plants in pots. Instant way to transform a garden. These, I consider these more, Rochelle, like a great garden staple. You know what I mean? Good size, good color, right?
Good foliage.
Yeah.
This has that nice, deep, rich green, you know, kind of a mid-sized leaf foliage. So it really is a great backdrop for the big blooms. And I just got to say, as the camera was panning, it panned over that, the butterfly bush and then to the white one. The white in that butterfly bush, I was just noticing how beautiful those two look together. The white hibiscus here. It always, right there. It just sets off the other plants. You see that combination of foliage, the silver, and then the butterfly bush with the ombre, you know, sunset flowers. That's a great combo. I love that.
Me too.
But you're going to be able to find other combinations with the other colors as well. And they all reflect off each other, by the way. I don't know if you can see that as well on television, but, you know, the white has kind of a red throat, and then the pink is pink and white, and then the other pink is, you know, a solid pink with the red throat. So they all kind of go together really well when you look at them up close. They reflect off each other, so they really do work well as a group. Or if you wanted to separate them out and pair them with other things, my plan is to pair them with the sun patience, which we already sold out of.
Yeah.
But
the butterfly bush. We have the butterfly bush.
The butterfly bush.
Yeah.
Actually, you know, the hummingbird mint would be a great combination too.
Sure.
Because they're similar colors as well. So the pinks with the purples, that's such a pretty combination as well. And they all like sun.
Yeah.
So you got a good mix there.
I love that they bring the tropics into every home. You know, that's what they remind me of. You know, when you go on a vacation somewhere and you see the hibiscus, you always think, oh, and most people don't realize they grow anywhere, right? It's just that they thrive in certain parts of the country that, you know, throughout the year. Whereas, you know, if you live up in New England, like, for example, we had a question on Facebook, Rochelle, maybe you can answer it for her. You live up in Boston. So let's say you get your plants in, I don't know, maybe you get your plants in May. Take me through like the whole summer, right through when it gets cold. How do you care for these?
So when you get these, you're going to want to plant them right away. If you can't plant them right away, take them out of the plastic. There'll be plastic wrapped around this, and take them out of the plastic, give them a little drink of water, set them in a window or outside until you can plant them. If you're going to do a container, I would do a minimum of 12 inches. That'll get you through this year. I would probably, if you want to just save yourself the effort of transplanting them into a different container later, just go with a 16 or an 18 inch now, because they will get to fill that out. All you need is one plant for that container. But if you plant it in the ground, you're going to want to get the hole. It's very simple. Just give it enough space. You'll want to space these a couple feet apart if you're planting them next to each other, because they're going to each get about 2 to 3 feet tall and 2 to 3 feet wide. So if you're doing a hedge, you know, just remember those dimensions so that they grow together, or you can space them out. Then you're going to watch them grow, basically. These are going to be triggered by the heat. So the faster it warms up where you live, the more they're going to grow quickly. That's why last year I had mine in a container, literally right here in my office. And even before it got fully warm, I had a 3 foot tall shrub. It was ridiculous, just growing in the house. So, but it was the heat that triggers it. So if it's outside, it'll be a little slower. They come into their own really in that July timeframe, because the June heat kicks in. By late July up here, they're blooming like crazy. They'll be earlier down south for sure. And then that's it. They're going to just keep going until the end of the season. They'll die back, and then they'll come back next year, so you don't have to worry about it. And if you do, you've got that 1-year warranty, so just give us a call.
I love that you get brand new flowers every day. You know, one thing I can say about hibiscus, which I love, even though the blossoms only last a day, and you can see a couple of them are closing up because they've been open since this morning. But what's beautiful about them is you get all their beauty comes in one day, but then there's at least another dozen buds that are all ready. Every day with my hibiscus, every day I have new flowers. Every day. And I'll come out and there'll be 4 or 5 dead flowers on the ground at the end of the day. And I know the next day, I sweep them off. The next day I got new ones. I love it. Rochelle, great job as always. Thank you so much. Oh, wait. We added the butterfly bush. So Rochelle, I'm not saying goodbye to you, right? No.
No, not yet.
Not yet. All right, what are we doing?
Not yet.